Do you receive Social Security, and would you be willing to give that check back to the government since that comes from the government?
Well, as I said before, once you live in a world that is pervaded by government influences, where the government has built almost all the roads, where the government has taken money from people, including from me, since 1958 for Social Security taxes, to ask people at that point to forswear the use or the benefit that was promised them in exchange for their having paid taxes and obeyed rules for an entire lifetime is not exactly a good test of anyone's sincerity. If we had a starting point again, and we could say, let's start here and allow people to manage their own affairs voluntarily, peacefully, and cooperatively, and work on that basis, yes, certainly, I would want to start there. It's not an option for us at this point to start there. We can't efface a world that has been shaped and damaged and directed for centuries by government intrusion that ought never to have occurred. So here's where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in a cesspool. And we can swim in the contents of that cesspool, or we can sink. If someone wants to ask me to sink because I find myself in a cesspool, I can only say I think that's an unreasonable request. I'm going to try to stay afloat in this world. I don't like the shape it's been put in, but I didn't put it in this shape. I didn't take anything from Native Americans. So I don't know that there's a particular Native American person to whom I've committed an injustice. This is a tricky issue. If you go back in history, you find that everybody's ancestors were abused and subjected to robbery and violence at some point. Does that mean that we're all in the debt of everybody, everywhere? This is a very easy and cheap way of thinking about the course of history. And it doesn't really work. When we wrong someone, there's the possibility of restitution. But there's no possibility for me to make restitution for the people who were slain at Wounded Knee by the U.S. Army. I can't give them their lives back. But at the same time, we need to recognize that I didn't take their lives either. I'm not responsible for what generations before me did. And they did a great deal of wrong. But right now, the generation that I'm a part of is doing a great deal of wrong. And for that, I can raise my voice. I can denounce injustice. I can try to move the world in a better direction. I can't take responsibility for every historical wrong ever done.